In this video, I'm going to be talking all about the Black Telescopic Nunchucks we have for sale at Enso Martial Arts. I'm going to be talking all about their features, why you'd want to buy these over other nunchucks, and at the end I'm going to do a little demo just to give you a few little tips and tricks just to get started training with chucks. Hi, my name's Doug Swift. I've been doing martial arts for the past 34 years and I've been the owner of Enso Martial Arts for the past 17 years. If you're liking this video, remember to click the little icon, subscribe to this channel and get all the latest videos and updates from Enso Martial Arts. So let's get into this video and learn all about the Black Telescopic Nunchucks we have for sale at Enso. Now, the Black Telescopic Nunchucks are one of the really popular nunchucks that we have at Enso Martial Arts, but it's not always possible for us to get them in stock. So if you're someone that goes to the website like fairly often, you will see that actually quite a lot of, there's fairly long periods where they're out of stock. So when we do have them in stock, and if you're thinking about buying them, it is worth buying them there and then, because it might be that we have a few months where we just don't have them in stock. So it definitely isn't one of those cheesy sale pitches, it is the absolute truth. When we get them in, they just go straight away and it takes a little bit of time to get them back in. So yeah, if you see them in stock, just grab them. So what is it that's so great about these chucks? What makes them so popular? Well, I think people really like the fact that they're so compact. You know, it's something that it's not so obvious with a pair of, you know, normal long chucks. These are just very like nice and concealed and small. You know, you can chuck them in any bag. You can just stick them in your pocket if you wanted. If you're going like training around a mate's house or you're going to a class, you know, you don't have to take sort of gear with you. You can just literally shove this in your pocket. Now, in the UK, carrying chucks around with you is not the most advisable thing to do. You know, they can be classed as an offensive weapon, so, you know, just be very sensible. They also come with a case, which is a very good thing. So, you know, if they're in a case, like, yeah, in your pocket with your other training stuff, there's absolutely no problem. If you're swinging them around walking down the street, obviously you're going to get in a little bit of trouble. So just be really sensible with them. But they are very compact and people really like that feature. As I mentioned, the case as well is a really nice feature. Not many nunchucks come with a case. You usually have to buy cases in addition, that we do sell at Enso. But this comes with this handy case where you can just pop them in. Nice and packed, nice and tight on this little popper here, so the nice and packed way. You also, it comes with a belt loop. Now in the UK I wouldn't really recommend having them on your belt. Maybe in other countries might be allowed to do that, but it is quite a useful feature anyway. But having them nice and packed away in a case, if they're in a bag, if you get asked, you know, about them, they're nice and packed away, nice and safe, so there's no chance of you getting them out. Using them in public, so you know, it's a good way to carry them around, like I said, if you're going to class or buddies to do a bit of training. Just a few features that's worth knowing on these pack down really nice and small, but they do extend all the way out to 14 inches, which is actually a little bit longer than your standard chuck. You know, most chucks are around 12 inches, but it's just a little bit longer than that. So when you are swinging them around, you know, it does feel just a little bit different, because the middle's skinny and the ends sort of wider. There's a bit more weight on the ends with them. So, you know, they're actually quite a nice feel to swing around and use. But like I said, it's worth knowing that they're just a little bit longer than a standard chuck. Now, all the sections on them are painted black, so it is a metal that's then painted black as well. So over time, you know, if you use them a lot and they're rubbing together, that kind of will wear, so you get a really nice kind of like worn look on them, which is pretty good. And you also get these ball bearings, a nice compact ball bearing kind of setup inside there with the chain attached, and it's a relatively short chain on these. So who would use these chucks? What martial arts specifically would use a telescopic nunchuck? Well, there aren't any really. It's simply just something that's been developed and people really like it. A lot of people that train with chucks do seem to like collecting chucks, so they will like going through all the different types of chucks out there, the wooden ones with rope, metal ones, plastic ones, rubber ones. So, you know, it's just a different type of chuck to pick up and play with. Obviously, because it's compact, it's a really good travel one to take around with you. But yeah, it's just another different type of chuck to add to the collection, and it does have a slightly different feel when you're moving it. So again, it's just something new to play with and something different. But as I said at the beginning of the video, it is a very, very popular design. If you're looking for training in nunchucks, like where could you go? There's not many classes these days that are teaching nunchucks. You know, in the old days there was a few that would bolt it onto the end of a class, and some classes still do that a little bit, especially with kids classes. They might bolt on a bit of nunchuck training on the end of a class, and these classes tend to be like the black belt academies, and yeah, like some kickboxing schools will do that, especially in kids classes. So if you are looking for a teacher to teach you chucks, that's probably the best place to go to. Otherwise, it's just going to have to be a bit of self-internet training, I'm afraid. You know, YouTube videos are amazing to just pick up some tips and tricks. And you know, and there's so much out there these days that you could go all the way through and pick up some really advanced stuff from the internet. So at Enso Martial Arts, we do like to think we've got a pretty good selection of nunchucks. So as well as the Black Telescopic Nunchucks, we also have wooden chucks with the 2 black grooves, blue foam nunchuck, wooden octagonal chucks, hard rubber nunchucks, carved dragon nunchucks, 8-inch shorties, and the very pretty white octagonal nunchuck. So as promised at the beginning of the video, I'll just show you a few little tips and tricks just to get you started with chucks. Now, if you were thinking about starting off, I probably wouldn't recommend metal nunchucks to start with. You know, maybe start with a nice foam pair, just so you don't hurt yourself. You can whack yourself over the head and not get too many injuries. But if you are dead set on using the metal chucks, that's absolutely fine. You are able to do whatever you like. Now, just simply get used to just swinging things around. You know, both sides, just swinging around, both directions. It's definitely the best thing to do, just to get used to swinging them. Once you got used to that and swinging them over your head, you know, you can try a few catches underneath the armpit, both sides, just swinging them around, catching them underneath your arms. That's definitely a good thing to do. You know, you don't need to go too fast, you don't need to go too mental. You will miss them occasionally. You know, these chucks do feel a bit different to the normal 12-inch, so there is a little bit of getting used to that length, and the weight is slightly different. And you know, they won't behave in the same way that like a regular wooden chuck will. Once you got used to sort of catching them under that, you can extend that a bit and do bounces off the legs. They're nice and simple. You might be able to hear that there's a little bit of a kind of whooshing sound with them that you get in the air when you get a nice bit of kind of movement in the chuck. And you can have a play with that, just bounce them off the body. It's nice and fun, just to kind of checking off the body. So yeah, just a few little things just to get you started with, nice and simple with the chucks. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you learned loads about the Black Telescopic Nunchucks we have for sale at Enso Martial Arts. If you like this video, remember to subscribe to the channel and get all the latest videos and updates from Enso Martial Arts. Thanks very much, and I'll see you soon. Cheers!